Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Tyler.
And I'm Luke.
And we're here with the very first episode of Holy Heck, I Really Like Love Live. We're going to be looking in depth at the entire Love Live discography, starting from the very beginning of Muse and ending with the recent releases of Aqua's. So before we jump into it, Luke, do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
I'm Luke, obviously. I've been in the Love Live for about 2.5 years now. Roughly, I think October 2015, I guess. Yeah, the years just fly by. Muse is my favorite. I like Muse more than Aqua's. I love them both. Muse is definitely my favorite, though. I was in band in middle school and high school, and in choir in high school. State solo ensemble is a competition, and all-state choir in Alaska, of all places. My favorite Love Live song is probably Moment Ring from Muse. Majuka Dreamer is pretty close second, though. What about you, Tyler?
All right, so my name's Tyler. I've only been into Love Live for around... Yeah, thank you. I've only been into Love Live for around... We're coming up on a year now. I first got into Aqua's before Muse, so I kind of have like a little bit of a bias there, just because they were the first thing I listened to. I mean, I heard like Snow Halation and everything, but I mean, everyone's heard Snow Halation. Like, I'm pretty sure if you ask your mom, like, she would have heard Snow Halation too.
Yeah, everybody likes Snow Halation.
Yeah, I definitely love Muse though. So I mean, it's not like I don't love him or anything. Let's see. I've been playing guitar and kind of dabbling in piano and singing we're coming up on 14 years now since fourth grade. So that's a pretty big thing there in my life. I'm all kinds of musical, In terms of my favorite Love Live song, I gotta give this one to Majuka Dreamer. I from start to finish, like, I wouldn't change a thing about that song. I mean, maybe like one or two things, but we'll get to that when we actually discuss Majuka Dreamer.
Yeah.
So So Luke, why don't you take us to where we're gonna start everything here? Tell us a little about what we're gonna hop into right now.
So we're gonna start from the very beginning of the Love Live discography and just kind of run through it all. Just kind of talk about what we love about the song, what we might want to change about the song, the individual performances in the song. Like how great the girls are at singing. Kind of talk about the anime here and there. Kind of just talk about everything that we really heckin' like about Love Live. So we're gonna start it off with an absolute classic. Tyler, why don't you hit us with the beat?
All right. Well, we're looking at Bokura no Live, Kimi no Life. That's the first song ever, right? The very first Love Live song.
The Trill OG. Song's pretty good. So we'll play the first minute and a half for you guys, and we'll be right back.
確かな今
What a classic. It's such a good song.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I was going to say the same thing. I feel like, you were the one who actually mentioned it earlier. You said that this song was just an A1, like, hey, we're Love Live, we're Muse, check us out kind of song, you know what I mean? Like the very first impression, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it just feels very much so like we're here, we're going to have a really good time. We really hope that you all enjoy, what we're going to put out here. The song's just always feels like a blast to listen to, and real strong nostalgia.
I feel like there's like a really fine line between what makes like not a song boring necessarily, but more like what makes just like a nothing special song like really fun to listen to, like this one, versus a not so, it's just kind of a boring song. Like, I don't know, I can't think of an example right now, but this definitely crosses a line for something that's really, I'd say, basic, but something that still manages to be super fun in the process. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It tiptoes that line of like basic and still really fun. It kind of checks off both those boxes. It's nothing super special. Compositionally, it's kind of weird. You can always hear the harmonizers and the choruses and stuff, which isn't really what you're looking for, like ever, because the idea is that the harmonizers can blend everybody together. But like it's still just like such a blast to listen to, and everybody sounds like pretty good. I think a lot of early Love Live, especially like these first two songs, Ellie and Umi were pretty far and away the best singers, and they sound really good in this song.
So when we were talking about this before, you mentioned how this song is just, we already talked about how it's still fun, but you were just going on and on about how different it was from all the stuff we're used to from both groups,
Yeah, it's so early on. I think like a lot of their styles weren't concrete yet. Like Nozomi sings a lot of melody, which she does in other songs, but later on within a couple singles, within like a year and a half, she kind of becomes the group's primary harmonizer.
That's my guilty pleasure, man.
Yeah.
I can't. Oh man, I love that.
When we were just listening to it, I heard that. I was like, that's the good stuff. There's like Maki's harmonizing a lot in it. It's kind of weird, She's like one of the stars of Muse, and there she is harmonizing. I think the biggest thing that's like super weird compared to a lot of future Muse songs and just Love Live songs in general, a big thing that they do in Love Live is they give everybody a lot of chances to shine, and you find that throughout the verses in the songs, and then they'll sing together in the chorus, but there'll be a lot of small solos throughout verses of songs, and this song doesn't really do that. You get a couple for most of the girls. I don't think they get all 9 in, but throughout the choruses you get a few very like short one-line solos, but like if you compare that to the rest of Love Live, where they get all these small solos just in every song in all the verses, and I think that kind of ties back to they hadn't really found their style, how they wanted to do it yet, but it still sounds fun. It's just so much. It's kind of weird in that sense. Obviously, if you just sit down and listen to it, and sit down and listen to a lot of Love Live songs, you might not pick up on it. But if you listen to the songs enough, you might just notice these strange little things.
Yeah, it's almost as if you could like. It's almost as if this song. It's like, of course, like we heard of the solo mixes and everything. It's kind of like. It's not that much of a change from like a normal solo mix. If you were to listen to any one girl's solo mix of this song, it just kind of sounds like the normal song, just because it's not like, oh, I can't wait to hear Nozomi singing Umi's part. It's more like everyone just sings the same part.
Yeah, you could just play all the solo mixes over the top of each other and it would be the same song. Like
Okay, so is that all you wanted to say for the song, Luke?
Yeah, I think that just about covers all the bases. A real good song. Played at every live. The live performances were always good. The PV's good. I enjoy the PV. Like the old PV kind of looks like they're like stick figures.
The stick figures.
The stick legs, man. And they do this one like hop and slide in the beginning in the first guitar riff, where it just looks so unnatural. I love it. I love the old CG is great. It kind of has its own character to it. And I know you said you like some of the old art styles for the girls more than some of the newer ones.
Listen, Hanayo with the bow on top of her head, man. I'm a huge fan. And also, I gotta shout out my girl Nico. I don't.
Oh yeah, you like the old Nico hair, don't you?
I don't know what is so different about the old Nico hair. Like, I can't really put my finger on it. I just know that I like it so much more. And it's not to say I don't like Nico's current hair, you know what I mean? But it's just, I see the old art style, and it's just like, wow, like, this isn't awful. Like, I mean, in the PV, it's kind of a little awful.
But the art. We're talking about the art. Yeah. I like the old art. The old art looks good. I think, like, the biggest thing, which we'll get into later when we talk about, different PVs from the next couple of years. It's just, like, they look more and more like the anime every time. Then they get the anime blush, and like Wonderful Rush and stuff. But yeah, the art's nice. The PV's nice, and especially in the anime when they redid this song. Like, I wasn't a Love Live fan when I watched that, but that would have been hype.
Okay, so I think we're about ready to move on, right?
Yeah. I think we got just about everything out of the way. Yeah.
All right. So next up, we got the B side for that. Is that right? Yep.
Yuujou
No Change.
Song. Yeah.
Yeah, Yuujou No Change coming up right now. Rin Center.
Doesn't really feel like a Rin Center.
Barely.
But we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that more in a little bit.
All right. Let's go. All right, now, right off the bat, I know Luke actually knows this about me. Okay, here it is. Okay, both of us historically have not been the biggest Hanayo fans in the world.
Yeah, Hanayo and I go way back, and way back as in not a good way back.
Yeah, not like a nostalgic, like fond memories way back, but you okay? 2010 Muse. When this song came out, Hanayo's voice, I'm going on record saying right now that pre-anime Hanayo's voice is by far my favorite vocal talent in Muse. And I gotta say, I am really, really happy, really relieved that I wasn't into Muse at the time of, like Snow Halation, at the time of Yuujou No Change, because I would have been crushed, just absolutely crushed, if I watched Hanayo go from what she was in 2010 versus what she was, I don't know, what would you say, like around the start of the anime? 2013?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I now, of course, like there's nothing wrong if you really like Hanayo's voice. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. It's just it clicks with me. I can't describe it. I love her voice. I love her alto. I love the way she sings. I think she is so talented, and I just, it really shows in Yuujou No Change. She has quite a few parts that oh my gosh, I just love. So
where like Umi is kind of this richer, alto. Hanayo's got this really, really nice soft alto. It's not gonna slam you in the face, but it can just be really nice to listen to. And Umi's nice to listen to, but you got to be in a little bit different state to listen to the two of them. Hanayo's the better going to sleep song. Like, are you gonna listen to Storm and Lover when you're going to sleep? Like that one's really gonna put you to bed.
Yeah, like, really work up your insomnia.
Like, just such a nice. And by that point, she had kind of transitioned, but you get a little bit more of that chest voice Hanayo in that song, and just a real nice song to put you to sleep. But onto the song.
Yeah, let's talk about the fact that this is a Rin Center song real quick.
Yeah, this is Rin Center song, but Hanukkah leads off the la la la's.
Yeah, the la 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 part. No Rin to be found.
Yeah. Hanukkah leads off the la la la's, and everybody else comes in. Centers that aren't voted on are so weird for a while. For the first, this and Snow Halation side song, Baby Maybe, they're not really they don't really feel like a true center compared to the single centers. And obviously Hanukkah's the center of Bokura. She has every center. But this just doesn't feel like a Rin center at all. It's just weird.
It's just Rin's the center, just to say look, Rin won, she's the center, and then all the videos on YouTube have Rin right in the middle, all the color coded videos. That's it.
While Hanukkah's off to the side and she is highlighted the most.
Okay, so you were talking about. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Some nice things about the song that I really like. We were talking about in the last song how they don't have a lot of solos. This song has plenty of solos. It has a lot of solos. This is the first time where you can really individually tell what every girl's vocal talent is. We were just talking about Hanayo's vocal talents, and this is the first one where you can hear that soft, alto that she's got, that soft chest voice that she's got going. And I really like that. That's one of my favorite things about Love Live is getting to know every girl's vocal talents. That's something I really, really enjoy about it.
We got Nico's trademark Nicoing. I don't know how to take you into a chorus. Nico just going ham, just sounding like herself.
Just having a good old time.
I feel like if we're being honest, real quick, just a little thing to slide this in here. I feel like Nico and Soromaru by extension have. I think she nails the character singing voice, if the character singing, if I were to think of Nico singing, I wouldn't change anything about it. There's a few times where it's when the seiyuu sings a song, it sounds a little bit more like the seiyuu rather than the actual girl. But I never, ever think of that when Soromaru starts singing her Nico. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think she's just having such a fun time. And you can see it in the live shows. She's just always having so much fun. And they're all up there having a good time. But man, she's just having a blast with it. She just really likes being Nico. She really heckin' likes being Nico.
All right, so I think. Go ahead. It is not Snow Halation time yet. Go on.
If there's one, small critique I have of the song, I think it's a nice, fun song. I think the backing's kind of dull. It's really just kind of the same rhythm, just played over and over again. It's kind of dull backing. There's really no bass in it. I guess that's the opposite. There is some bass in it. I'm gonna rewind a little bit and then I'll edit this part out. There's really just not a lot going on in the backing. If I had to say one small critique for the song, I enjoy the song. But just the backing's kind of placid, kind of boring.
Yeah, I can feel that. I think this kind of falls under the category of song that you totally wouldn't mind having on in the background while you do something important. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's not a song that I'm gonna skip when I'm listening to my phone. But
but definitely
it's
not something
that I'll go out of my way to listen to.
Yeah, it comes on in your car and you're like, oh yeah, Yuujou No Change. I can't wait to just bool out. You know what I mean?
Out.
Yeah. All right, so I think it's
So let's get to the goat.
Yeah, let's. All right, it's Snow Halation. All right, roll Snow Halation. Let's go.
「
if you were expecting some kind of controversial, contrarian opinion about how Snow Halation is overrated, or about how it's boring or not as good as, not as good as everybody says, you have come to the wrong podcast, because oh my god, it's Snow Halation. It's the GOAT.
Yeah. Snow Halation's the GOAT. Like, you cannot be your favorite song, right? It is the GOAT. Snow Halation is the greatest Love Live song. It's just like it's so important. Mm-hmm. Like, if you look at the chart rankings for Bokura to Snow Halation, Bokura is 167, which obviously isn't very good. Then Snow Halation just skyrockets to 74, and like Snow Halation is just so good. There's so many good things about it. It rivals these far later Muse songs, just like it's so good. It's so good.
You find yourself comparing, like this brand new song comes out, it's like, oh, it's not as good as the one that came out in 2010 when nobody knew what they were doing and their roles weren't cemented yet and they didn't have an anime. That's
yeah. The composition of a lot of early Muse songs is I don't want to say boring. I still love it, but like it's a little basic, right? The composition's not necessarily something that you look at and say, wow, that's really well composed. But Snow Halation's like so well composed. The backing's really nice. The vocally it's good. If there's like a small critique I can give of Snow Halation, very small critique, you can like hear the harmonizers in the chorus, but like it's still so good. Like the chorus is so good.
Yeah, so like I said before in my little intro when I talked about how I was into Aquas, Snow Halation is Snow Halation, and I mean, it's so ridiculously popular that we have friends that really aren't into anime at all, and they even they know what Snow Halation is, and they know at least Sukeyoka Snow Halation. Everybody knows.
Yeah, it's so good.
So,
like it's for me it was. There's a few songs I can sing along to with the chorus, or maybe the first verse, but I can sing along all of Snow Halation. And like, I'm not very good at Japanese stuff. Like, I'm not very good at Japanese pronunciation, and I can still just jam out to Snow Halation anytime.
So,
it's just
let's talk about the actual composition of the makeshift subunits of the song. So, we know everyone knows so we got. For Intense, we got Lily White and we got BB, but we don't have that for Snow Halation. We have, let's call them groups. We have Group 1, which is Ellie, Nico, Hanayo. We have Group 2, which is Umi, Honoka, and Nozomi. And then Group 3, which is Kotori, Rin, and Maki. And I think something really cool about this is we have a GOAT soloist, like a GOAT lead for each, and we have a GOAT harmonizer for each. And some are lucky to have two.
Yeah.
So this is like, I feel like they got really lucky, or they.
I mean, like one of the groups, the Umi Nozo Hanukkah group, that was voted upon. Umi got second in the voting. Nozomi got third in the voting.
Oh, is that right?
So that group's kind of cemented there. And like super weird, Nozomi's in the center in the PV. So like some people thought she was the center for a while until Hanukkah's fantastic solo at the end. But like Hanukkah's the center, and that's why they made the episode before Snow Halation in the anime. Which, by the way, we'll get to that in a second. Oh man, is that hype? That's why they made the episode about Snow Halation's creation, kind of a Nozomi episode, right? Because they wanted to talk about like how important Nozomi is, and that's why she's in the center of the group when they start out singing, when the three of them start out singing.
Something I wanted to say is, we are in early Muse right now, so I think every song we've listened to thus far has a solo mix for each girl. Is that right? Every single.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you haven't taken the time out, just taken like how long is Snow Halation? 4 minutes. Taking 4 times 9, 18, 27. Yeah. Take 36 minutes out of your life and go listen to each and every one of the solo songs, and I promise you will find something you like about every single thing. Even
it's just such a fun song. Like, it's just such a good song that even if they don't like hit every note perfectly, it's still just
even
so
specifically, like, I'm not the hugest fan of Kotori's lead voice. I think she's probably my favorite harmonizer in Muse. Well, maybe not, maybe right behind Nozomi. But her lead up to the chorus, pre-chorus, her pre-chorus she sings the harmonies, and they're just like kind of like notably loud. But oh my god, that is ooh. And Honoka too. Like I like Honoka's voice a lot, but it's nothing. When I think of like the great Muse voices, you know, Honoka's definitely not like.
Just
yeah, I like her a lot, but Honoka's mix. Oh my god, that is just.
Yeah, Honoka's mix is just as good as Snow Halation, because like that solo at the end is so good. It's since
I mean that's it's Snow Halation. I mean I can't, even if I didn't like the song, I could not respect this song. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Even if it's not your favorite, like you still gotta respect and love it, because it's so important. It's so good. And I think one of the bigger things that Snow Halation really did, it's if you haven't watched Snow Halation live, go watch Snow Halation live. Pause the video, hit those two little bars, pause the video, go look up Snow Halation live. It doesn't matter which live, because the song isn't necessarily super hard to sing, so they always nailed it live. And it's try to find one from a later live when they break out the orange the UVOs, the ultra bright orange glow sticks at the end when Honoka turns around for her solo, and it just it's so good. It's so captivating, the scene. It's so good. Probably consistently the best live performance. And speaking of like the live performances, the PV also is just great, right? Like the PV, obviously the old one, they still kind of got the CG's gotten better since Vororov, but there's still stick figures for the most part. There's the jump. Do you know which jump I'm having?
Yeah, the 10 feet jump. Yeah,
where they just get up there, dude. That is so far into the air. It's so good. I like the little cutaways. The Snow Halation art is probably my favorite character art. The little cutaways to them, outside of the PV, you know, to their normal lives. I think the character models there look fantastic. I like Nozomi's hair isn't like as far straight down. It's kind of sticking out a little bit more, you know. I think that's nice. I like Kotori's hair a lot. There's a lot going on, but it's still really good. The outfits they got to be the most iconic for like half the group. Like Nozomi's little tiny top hat. Like, I know we didn't talk about the outfits for Bororo, but God, Snow Halation outfits are so good.
You said Nozomi hair. It got me thinking of the scene from the OVA where Umi and Nozomi put their hair up. We will talk about the OVA.
And they look like they say moo.
Ooh.
Yeah, I hope they say
moo.
But yeah, the little Nozomi hat's just fantastic. Snow Halation is just so perfect. It's just everything about it. I think for us, I think it's one of the only songs that we agreed on that we'd give like a 10 out of 10 to. There wasn't very many.
We didn't get very far.
Snow Halation and Strawberry Trapper, I think, were the only two that we agreed on.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, no, we didn't get very far into the podcast before we just smacked right into a 10. 10 out of 10. That's and I mean, spoiler alert. I mean, I personally am about to hit one in a little bit. Until then.
Yeah.
Okay, and now from Snow Halation, this giant like behemoth of just a masterpiece of a song. We have Baby Maybe Koi no Button.
All right, let's go. it's always really hard to follow up the GOAT. You know, it would have been hard for almost any song to fill this spot. And I don't. No offense to the song, it's likable, it's fun, but it's hard to follow Snow Halation.
I feel like almost anything that would have been on Snow Halation's B-side would have just been compared to Snow Halation, like we're doing right now. I feel like if this song was just like, hey, check out this cool little like single, it would have been like, wow, you know, it's a neat little song.
That's neat. That's a nice little Kotori center
But
song,
because it's the it's the Snow Halation B-side, it's like, what is this? Put Snow Halation back on, you know.
Yeah, I don't think the song's bad at all. I think it's kind of fun. It's kind of nice. It's back to like Yuujou No Change. I would say I like this song a little more than Yuujou No Change, but it has some of the same issues. You know, just kind of a boring backing. They do get back to like the solos, which I really like. There's a lot of solos and duets in this song that are really nice. But it kind of goes back to the Rin thing also. Where it's kind of hard to tell if you just sat down and listened to the song.
It's a Kotori center because you read on the wiki that it's a Kotori center.
Because you read it on the wiki, yeah. If you just sat down and listened to it, knowing all the girls' voices, you couldn't really tell it's a Kotori center.
I agree. I mean, I do prefer Yuujou No Change to this song. I'm just gonna call it Baby Maybe from now on. But yeah, I don't think the song is offensively bad or offensively good. Yeah. Would definitely wouldn't skip it if it was coming on while I was doing something else like drawing or studying or whatever, but it's definitely not, again, with Yuujou No Change. Going back to I always forget the Bokura no Live, Kimi to no Live. I mentioned how there's a fine line between a song being boring and a basic song that, you know, in every regard should be boring, but is somehow just hype as hell. And I feel like this is the opposite end of the spectrum, where you can listen to Bokura no Live in your car and just absolutely just rock out and just have like a blast. With this song, it's just, you kind of just listen to the instrumental and it's just like, oh, you know, it's a nice song. It's a nice, you know, there's nothing bad about it. There's not a whole lot good about it. It's just it's just a song, you know, like
yeah. That's all there really is to say for it. You know, they sound nice. They do sound good. I like the Kotori Ellie kind of duet that goes on a lot in it. I like the. I think that sounds nice. They work pretty well together. You know, you got like soft Ellie and kind of harsh at times Kotori, and they work really well together.
I like the passing around during the chorus where it's like, you know, groups of 2 or 3 girls at a time. Dun, 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 dun. I think that's really neat.
Yeah. And, the echoes are really, really nice. That's probably my favorite part of the song, and really, you can point to, at least kind of how I think about it, is you can point to how good a song is by how many of those moments you have where you're like, yeah, I love the part in Snow Halation with Hanukkah solo, or I love the part in Snow Halation with the Spanish guitar, or the part right before both the choruses, you know, but it's just really hard to find those parts in this song.
This is one of the songs where it's like, hey, Baby Maybe, and you're like, oh, is that the one where they go 1 2 jump? Oh no, that's the, oh yeah, okay, I know which one it is. It's not like Snow Halation, you know,
you can't rail off a bunch of different things you love about this song, but you can do it with other songs.
And again, we just,
you know, we just unbad. Like we're kind of critiquing it a bunch, but this song is so like not bad at all. It's not something you're gonna go rock out in the gym with. But it's something that you, if you're going to bed and you hit shuffle on the old phone, this is the first one that comes up, you're not gonna skip it. It's kind of sweet and nice, and it's a good one.
We're kind of only proving my point here, where we mentioned Snow Halation about 50 times, comparing the song when it wasn't part of the comparing to Snow Halation example. So I think we're kind of reaching at this point. I feel like it's time to move on. I don't know about you.
Yeah. But no, we can go on to the next one. Yeah.
All right, yeah. Let's hit up Natsuiro Egao Day 1 2 Jump. That is, oh my god, that's another 10. I told you it was coming.
Pretty good.
Here it is.
Pretty good.
なぜか見えた明日のときめきどうしようかな捕まえ
So, for any given song, Love Live or otherwise, there's a lot of parts that are just like, oh, the verse is really cool, but oh my god, I love to sing the chorus. That just doesn't exist for 1-2 Jump for me. I love every second of this song. I love everything there is to love about this song. If you, at any given point in the video, if you were to just click on a random time in the video or the song, I'll just bool out to some part, man. I love this song. The verse, the chorus, oh my god, I can't even think straight about this song. There's so many things to sing to. Like one time you could like sing all like the main, sing all the leads, and then, by the time the second verse comes around, you can sing all the harmonies because you can hear them all. There's just so much good about this song. And we got Hanayo Bo in there,
the Hanayo Bo makes her return. It's been 2 years, but the Hanayo Bo makes her return in this one.
We got the trademark Snow Halation 20 feet leap into the air when they say 1-2 jump.
They get so high up. They get so far up there.
And the big thing, like an actual thing, not just just small talk. I think this is one of the first times where, like we got Honoka with Snow Halation, but this is one of the only times where in early Love Live we can like very, very clearly see that it is in fact a Nico center song, and it's not just like like Nico's the center because the wiki said so or because people voted. You know what I mean? Like it's very obviously a Nico center song. And
really, from Snow Halation onwards, they make it really obvious who the center is. You can sit down and listen, and it's Nico in the song. Because she has that fantastic solo at the end, that really, really good solo that's just as Nico as it gets. And, Honoka's got her great solo at the end of Snow Halation. But really, from then onwards, from Snow Halation onwards, you can pretty easily tell who's the center of a song just by listening to it. The side songs, not as much. And we'll get to the side song for this song, which does a pretty good job showing who the center is. From you don't have to look on the wiki for who the center is. You can tell who it is by just listening to the song. But we'll get to that in a second. But yeah, Nico's solo at the end is fantastic. It says Nico, like I said, it says Nico as it gets. It's just she's out there having a good time.
Yeah, there's rumors actually about this song. I don't know if you know about it, Luke, but the producer, producer San, who's in all the Nico Namas, he went to sleep one night with 1-2 Jump on, and he woke up the next day, and that was his idea for Aquas. Like he just based the whole anime off this PV.
Really?
No, I made that up, but I mean,
I was about to say that's deep. That's deep. You're getting in there deep.
No, but it's a Nico Center song. So historically, for me, some of my favorite Muse songs are centered by girls that I really just don't care too much about. This Angelic Angel, I'm really not the biggest Ellie fan. I mean, when we say not the biggest fan,
we still love.
Don't take that as we don't love the girls, because I love Ellie, and I think and Nico too, and I feel like there's really great things about every girl, but it just comes down to personal preferences.
Yeah,
but
it's just kind of funny. A dislike, it's a like less.
Yeah, I just kind of think it's funny how two of my favorite Muse songs are done by girls I don't necessarily consider my favorite. So this is the first one. Well, we got Snow Halation too, but this is the first. I like Honka.
Everybody likes honks. Yeah. Likes the honker. Kind of moving along. I'll say one last thing about this. This song
the hands?
Is so. We'll get to the hands. We will get to the hands. But now you got me thinking about the hands. This song is just. It's hard to think of a more fun song to listen to. Like, this song is just so fun. You can just start jamming out wherever you are. Just start dancing away to the song wherever you're at. And if people ask what are you doing, you're acting very strange. You just say, yeah, I'm listening to 1-2 Jump, and they'll get it, right?
Yeah, actually, funny story about that. I was driving with my girlfriend. This is like a week ago, and we were listening to some pop music on the radio. Like by listening, I mean we were like very passively like
it was
on while we were driving, and we weren't really talking or anything. We were just kind of driving. It was kind of boring, and out of nowhere, I just take my phone and I just put on 1-2 Jump, and she like looks at me, and I like look at her. I mean I'm driving, but I glance at her, and I smile a little bit, and just 1-2 Jump plays, and there was not a complaint out of her. I mean, not that she would complain anyway, but it was just. I put on 1-2 Jump and she was okay with it. I mean, that's kind of it's 1-2 Jump. What's not to be okay with?
The song's so fun.
I felt like listening to 1-2 Jump. I was like, hey, my car doesn't have AC, the windows are down, and it's 80 million degrees outside. Let's put on a summer
It's
song.
summertime, dude. Vacation. We gotta get to our location. Yeah, let's talk about those hands. I love 1-2 Jump's PV. It's probably my favorite out of all of Love Live. I think Wonderful Rush is right there also. But the hands that they do during the chorus, where they're like moving their hands back and forth. Oh my god! I think you're
talking about the pre-chorus.
Oh, you're right. No. All right, let's talk about the hands. I love the hands, and they do this thing in the pre-chorus where they're like moving their hands back and forth. Oh, it's so good. I don't know what it is. It's like just a small thing, but whenever I watch the PV, I get real excited for the hands.
These people don't know you better. You're kind of coming off a little bit like Kira from JoJo Part 4, man, talking about, let me just talk about these hands.
Let me just talk about these anime girl hands real quick. Yeah, I don't think there's a lot to be said about choreography. For songs like you'll have your favorite, but you don't really go out of the way saying, yeah, my favorite choreography is X song, whichever song it is. But pretty solidly, 1-2 Jump has my favorite choreography. That or Wonderful Rush is a part of Wonderful Rush that equals the hands and how much I love it. But just like the small choreography things, the song is great live. It's kind of like Snow Halation, where it's not necessarily super hard to sing, so they always nail it.
Hey, listen, speak for yourself. I'm in that limbo where this song is perfectly, just absolutely like perfectly out of my vocal range. Where if I sing it too low, it sounds like garbage, and I can't get to the point where I can sing it not using my head voice, the falsetto. Yeah. So it just sounds like this song is just in limbo. It's so. I assume this is what it's like, when you're like.
Yeah, this
I don't
is
know.
The hell
you're like an Olympic runner, and then you can't walk or something. It's like, oh man, that must be horrible. I'm living it, man. Loving to jump but not being able to sing it.
Can't even sing one of your favorite Love Live songs, man. That's true. That's why you just gotta.
All right, well.
That's why Umi songs just gotta be your favorites. They're nice and low most of the time.
Yeah. All right, so you ready? I think we're about ready to move on, right?
Yeah. We can move on. This next song. Big fan of it. When I first started playing SIF, was one of the first songs that I really fell in love with. Mermaid Fiesta Volume 1, LA Center. Really fun song. Let's give it a listen. Okay, I have listened to this song so many times. I have watched a color-coded version of it with lyrics so many times. And throughout the last 2.5 years, I always thought it said Fiesta instead of Festa. Everything has changed. My whole world is flipped upside down. What am I supposed to think now?
I don't know what. Please go find someone more reputable to listen to than us, because we are.
Yeah, oh my. It's like kind of embarrassing, but also just so shocking. I don't know what to think anymore.
Yeah, it turns out snow halation was called like snow inhalation the whole time, and nobody.
Everything's like I was saying earlier. When I got into SIF, I just finished watching the anime. I didn't know it was this big thing that had 100 songs, 100+ songs, and like I started playing this song in SIF, and this is my favorite song to play. I played it so many times, and wow, this is one of the first songs I downloaded on my computer. Oh my lord, it's saved on my computer as Fiesta. Everything has changed.
Okay, so existential dread aside, let's talk about the backing for a minute. So, we got an incredibly naive opinion coming up, which I'm not too proud of, but I mean it's still important to talk about. When I was really into Aquas, or when I was first getting into the whole thing, and I wasn't too familiar with Muse, with the exception of Snow Halation, like I said earlier. One of the big things I was worried about was I was under the impression that a lot of Muse songs were just really generic, like J-pop, from listening to songs like, I always forget the name of it, man. Yuujou No Change. Yeah, there we go. Yuujou No Change. And nothing special. Like they're fun, but not like, wow, they're really good, because I'm coming off things like Bijuku Dreamer. I'm coming off things like Strawberry Trapper. Yozora wa Nandebo is another one of my
these songs
favorites.
that have great backing.
Yeah, and then I look at even 1-2 Jump at the time, it's kind of like, hey, but then when you actually go in and listen to it, and I feel like songs like this just are a giant personal slap in the face for me. Like, all right, idiot, like listen up.
The backing in this song is so far ahead of like all the other Muse songs. It takes Muse quite a while to like really get just fantastic backings in their songs. There's a few small exceptions to the rule of like that Muse didn't have fantastic backings for a while, but like this song's backing is so good. Like if there's one thing you take away, it's that.
Yeah, and on the topic of this song, what's its name again?
Who am I? What am I now? Mermaid Festa Volume 1. Oh no, Mermaid Festa Volume 2 is saved as Fiesta also. Oh my, everything sucks. Good song. I like again how they by this point they've cemented themselves that they're gonna have all these solos for all the girls throughout it. I really like the Ellie solo near the end, where it's kind of backed by these two other girls, and then Ellie comes in. That's a really common reoccurring theme that they have, and another reoccurring theme that that shows up throughout Muse's lifespan is they do this thing going into the last chorus, kind of the last big solo from the center, where they'll just talk. There's just like them talking for like 10-20 seconds, and they'll usually all 9 of them will say something, and then they'll go into the big solo at the end for the center. And this song is really the first one that does that. It's kind of neat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel like that can either be a really, really good thing or a bad thing. I think it's a good thing in this case.
Yeah, I like it. And the backing when Ellie starts her solo, it's so good. The backing's great in this song. You can listen to the song, just the backing versions if you can find it somewhere, just the instrumental, and it sounds great.
So, that's all we had planned today, right?
Yeah, I think we covered a lot today. That's 6
between
songs?
The 10-minute discussions about Snow Halation and 1-2 Jump.
Between the 10-minute discussions of my dread that I'm gonna have to change Fiesta to Festa, everything's changed. My whole life's falling apart.
So why don't you tell us what's gonna happen next time?
So next week, we've hit up on a lot of Muse today. We've hit up on Muse's first 6 songs. So we should go over Aqua's first 6 songs next week. So we're gonna go Kimi no Kokoro, Aqua's Heroes, Step 0 to 1, and what were the other ones?
So then we're gonna hop into Koi no Naritai Aquarium, or Aquarium from now on.
I think most people just call it Aquarium. Yeah.
I almost didn't know that it had the beginning part. I'm not gonna go full Mermaid Festa on you, but
unlucky.
So then we got Matete Ai no Uta, which is one of my personal favorites. Not a 10, but it's one of my favorites, good. And then we're gonna hit up Tokokanai Hoshida to Shitemo. So
nice song. Nice boat.
Yeah.
Six,
nice song.
Yeah. It's okay.
That's the review. All right. Yeah.
On to the next one.
Come on next time.
6 nice songs. We'll kind of talk about Aquas a little bit. So yeah, I think that's what we got for next week.
All right, so I'm Tyler.
And I'm Luke.
Thank you so much for hitting up the first episode of Holy Heck, I Really Like Love Live. Because holy heck, we really like Love Live.
Yeah, we do.
All right.
Yeah. So thanks, guys.
Thanks so much. All right, play us out, Strawberry Josh. Let's go.